Okay, so in the process of collecting the aircraft, and I just made sure that we got all the documents all in the folder here. We've got certificate of airworthiness for the aircraft. We've got the ARC, and we have certificate of registration. We have some other bits of paperwork. We've got the noise certificate here. We've got aircraft radio licenses all there as well. We've also got corporation for the WOW Aviation. Also got interception procedures, and we got the insurance as well for the aircraft. And just under there also is the importation documentation. And then in our tech log, we've got a tech log sheet here which we utilize for recording all the hours on the aircraft, and this was when the aircraft came over from the States. So therefore then we just got to continue on there with the rest of the tech log. So this will be the tech log that everybody fills out as they go and fly the airplane. However, we also have the Cirrus IQ, and here I've got the AirSync box, which I'm going to fit into the aircraft now before it goes off on its first flight. And then that will record all the data, engine data, movements. It will know where the aircraft's going. And here we've got the AirSync Generation 3 box. We've got some Velcro stickies so that we can stick them on the back of the aircraft. We've got the SD card that's going to go in the MFD. We've got a new GPS aerial, so a new GPS antenna. This is the power supply that's going to plug into the box. And I didn't really get a long enough cable here because I thought I was going to fit it just underneath the seats, but I might actually put it into the baggage bay. So what I've done is I've just gone out and I've bought an extension cable here for a USB-C to USB-C. So that will just extend the cable a little bit. And then got the setup guide. So yeah, so I'm going to go outside, fit this to the aircraft, and then when we power it up and go and fly the aircraft, it will send me all the data, and so therefore I can cross-check things that go into the tech log and make sure everything's okay.
Right, so here we are in the G7 Golf Sierra Whiskey Oscar Whiskey. So our new aircraft is the first G7 Plus on the British register actually, so that's a first for us. So I'm just going to run through the checklist here using a little scroll wheel. And pre-flight I've done, passengers I don't have any, seatbelts I'm all strapped in, parking brake is as required, and you can see that parking brake is on, the lever is actually down here between my legs. And batteries are already on, external power is not required. So alternator switches are currently off, you can see that there. CAS messages, I only have the parking brake. Strobe light switch, I'm going to leave that off, don't tend to turn them on until we're going on the runway. And then mixture lever behind here is going to go fully rich. And also power lever is going to go fully forward. It is the first flight of the day, so I'm going to go fully forward on that.
Request a right hand turn to left, right face to runway 22.
A bit loud on there, let's turn that down. And then fuel pump I'm going to prime and then boost. So the first start of the day I'm going to go for at least a couple of seconds of prime. So prime is down here. I'm going to look at the fuel flow. Press the fuel flow. And then we wait until it sort of peaks at a max, which is about there, fantastic. And then here it says propeller area clear. So it's going to go on to boost. Going to pull the throttle back to just open by half a crack, so about half an inch, and then turn it, and then engine knob on to start. So this is going to go onto both, 1, 2, 3, onto both, the button to push, and it will burst into life. Okay, fantastic. So looking for about 1,000 RPM. There we go, a little bit of power on there, just to catch that, and there we go, so we're off at 1,000 RPM now. Great, so starter's good. Power, oil pressure, looking at all of these, oil pressure's good, oil temperature's low at the moment, but everything's starting to warm up quite nicely. Mixture, I'll lean very shortly. Alternator switches are going to go on 1 and 2, and then that should clear out those CAS messages. And then engine parameters monitor, going to monitor those, wait for the oil temperatures have rise a little bit more. Caps pin I've got out, and I put the caps pin down there, and external power is disconnected. And then before taxi I'll run through this, and then flaps are in the up position, so I'm just putting those up now. I had them down for testing it. Comms, I've got Gloucester Tower, Gloucester approach, 7,000 on the squawk at the moment. The ATIS I've already listened to. Altimeter was 1003, which I have set in there. There's a transponder. Heading is going to be runway 22, and altitude I've got 3,000 feet. Flying controls, just going to do the box movement all the way around, making sure that all the control surfaces move in the appropriate manner as they should do, which they do. Same as the rudder as well. Lights are as required. I'm going to go landing light on when I start taxiing. Gloucester, hello. Golf Sierra Whiskey Oscar Whiskey has information Quebec 1003 outside RGV, ready for taxi.
Sky 3 Delta Bravo, contact approach from 28.555. Contact approach 128.555, Sky 3 Delta Bravo. Station RGV for taxi, say again, call sign only.
Golf Sierra Whiskey Oscar Whiskey.
Golf Sierra Whiskey Oscar Whiskey, Gloucester Tower, squawk 4531. And via Alpha 2 cross runway 27, taxi holding point Echo 1.
Squawk 4531 at Alpha 2 cross 27, taxi to Echo 1, November, Golf Sierra Whiskey Oscar Whiskey. Okay, good, so let's go for a bit of a taxi now, and then we could be in good position to take off on runway 22. So parking brake is going off, and I'll catch you in a second when I'm taxiing.
Golf Oscar Whiskey, stand by.
Okay, so we're ready for departure, everything's set. Got my toga is all set up here, and got 3,000 feet. Gonna go out on runway, heading from runway 22. Got my flight plan all good, just checking down here, flaps and everything are all set, all where they need to be. So good, so just waiting for clearance to go, and then we can depart.
Golf Oscar Whiskey, the helicopter sector is active. Prefer a left or right turnout?
I'd like a left turn out, please. Golf Oscar Whiskey.
Golf Oscar Whiskey, left turn southeast, runway 22, clear for takeoff, surface window 17010.
Left turn out, runway 22, clear for takeoff, Golf Oscar Whiskey. Okay, so we're all clear to the right, all clear to the left. Strobes are on, pitot is automatic, which is great, so just lining up on the runway. Rolling it forward a little bit. To actually get to the edge of the runway. Just want to come through here, and we're all set. So good. So power's going to increase. The PFD is switched to flight mode. And all the power. There we go. Full power. Just back off that RPM a little bit. There we go. Just climb away through 75, 80 knots. There we go. We're climbing away above 90 knots. Flaps are going to go to the up position. And continuing to climb away. Just follow my flight director. And we get quite a lot of these little yellow warnings on the fuel flow now, so every time it sort of gives me a little bit of a yellow warning, I just nudge the fuel flow back a little bit. That's good, we're climbing away quite nicely. So heading mode is active, yaw damper is on, we're pitched on a takeoff, climbing to 3,000 feet, and there's the hill there that we've just got to make sure that we avoid as we climb up. A little bit more back on the fuel flow. Okay, good, so 600 feet caps are available. Turn now around towards Oxford. Using the flight director, bring myself around. I'll just go autopilot on now. A little bit bumpy, but climbing away quite nicely. The climb power set, Flaps we can verify are up visually, so we can see they're up. Mixture, just leaning to keep it out of the yellow as we climb. There we go. Engine parameters are good. Fuel boost pump is currently going to go off to above 1,000 feet. Okay, so they would like it to be on, so I'm just going to turn it back on again. There we go. Nice, there's a view of Gloucester Airport, Cheltenham Town. I'm going to climb off. Actually, I'm going to level off about here actually, because we're just coming out to the edge of the cloud. I just had to stay out of the cloud today, so I'm just going to level off a little bit of a right turn. And as we're levelling off there now at 2,300, I'm just going to pop that down to 2,300. There we go. I'm going to back off the throttle. About 75% power. There we go. And again, I'm not in any rush. In fact, let's come back to 65%. So 65% power. Let's come back to just there. Then I'm going to lean. I'm going to lean the engine to the top of the bottom green indicator. I'm going to come all the way back to the top of the green indicator. Don't want it in the black. It should either be in the top of the green, in the top green, or the bottom green. So it's in the bottom green now. That's good. So 12, about 12 gallons an hour. It's nice.
Runway 27, make sure to approach runway 27 from the current position, report 5 miles. There's a safe approach to runway 27, going on the course. Report established on final about however long you need. Okay, that's actually on the bar. Takeoff from Hotel Gloucester Whiskey Oscar within 2,300 feet, just routing eastbound. Whiskey Oscar Whiskey Gloucester approach basic service. Traffic probably about 5 miles east of field, just sending as a twin star. Basic scope up VW.
Traffic 12 o'clock, high, less than 1 mile.
So that traffic there, I'm visual with that. I see it just up there.
Roger, thanks, great job. Whiskey Oscar believe it has you in sight, believe passing overhead about 5 miles east of the field. Yeah, also visual goal. Of course, Whiskey thanks, report 10 miles east of the field. Report 10 miles east of Golf Whiskey.
Okay, great. So quite happily flying out. So we're now done our climb checklist. Let's go through to our cruise checklist. So fuel pump is as required. In fact, I'm going to turn that to the off position, but also watch the fuel flow now. Just make sure it's in the bottom of the green. There you go. So just pushing that forward a bit, about 12 gallons an hour. That's great. So cruise power is set, which I have. Mixture is leaned, and engine parameters monitoring all look good, all in the green. Fuel quantity is looking nice and balanced. The flap is closed here, which means I'm going to get automatic fuel tank changes. Nice. I just routed myself along here just to go north of Little Rislington, which does a little bit of parachuting. So I'm just going to keep myself away from there. But apart from that, it's looking good. So here, one of the easiest ways to see whether I'm 10 miles east is either I can go to nearest airports, and then here I can see Gloucester, see that I'm 9.2 miles, or here I can move the range ring here until the range ring is on 10 miles, and I can see when it's on 10 miles from Gloucester Airport as well. So there's Gloucester, and there's a 10-mile ring going around. Well, new registration, need to get my head around the new registration, but there we go. So I'm just going to go into here now, into my flight plan. Quite fully, oh, that one there. So into my flight plan, go into Oxford, waypoint information, frequencies, Here we've got the 80th frequency, so I'll tap on there. I'm going to go to the active COM2 and then have a little listen.
This is Oxford. Information unit. Time 1350 hours. Expect NBC ILS approach. Runway in use, 19. Runway 19, surface condition code. 555, west, jet, north. Coverage, 100%, Flight level 75. Surface wind, 160, 13 knots. Visibility, 10 kilometers or more. Scattered 2,800. Pressure, +16. Viewpoint, +11. QNH, 1003. Threshold QFE, 9, 3 head passenger. Ground frequency closed. Confirm QNH and information Lima on first contact. This is Oxford, information
Okay,
Lima.
Oxford information Lima, I can turn that off, 125090.
Okay, down to radar service 78, basic service. Got 0 down through, traffic north-northeast of you by 4 miles.
Let's go, we're doing about 150 knots true airspeed. Got about 58% power, so I'm not in any major hurry. Going about 11.9 gallons an hour. Very nice. Next checklist is a known icing one, but what I want to do is the descent checklist before I come into that.
4505, requesting 2000, correction, 3000, please,
Yes, I'll set the flight plan now on here.
Identified traffic service and we'll put your passing level.
Passing 2000 feet now, Golf,
Oscar, no level restriction.
no restriction, Golf,
Oscar radar, hello, Golf Sierra Whiskey, Oscar Ware, skiers, jet bound, with information Lima 1003, and just request a VFR join, and a traffic level.
Oscar Whiskey, Oscar radar 64506, Foxer QNH 1003, we'll put your level.
4506, 1003 and 2300 feet, Golf Oscar Whiskey.
Oscar down to critical traffic, about 10 o'clock.
Okay, just routing myself around Little Rislington here, just getting to the north of them. So what I'm going to do is now just move the heading bug around.
Oscar Whiskey, identified traffic service, report 5 miles to us.
Report 5 miles to run, Golf Oscar Whiskey. So I just moved the heading bug there so that it came over the top of the little orange indicator here, which is the VRP. You see the track line here is actually slightly to the north of it, and that's because we've got some wind blowing from the south to the north, so it's pushing us that way a little bit more. So what I do is I'll just move the heading bug a little bit further round, but also that's bringing us there in towards the ATZ of Oxford, so it's looking nice. And I'm just going to put my range ring there on 5 miles, and then when the edge of the ring hits there, then I know I'm at 5 miles. Or here I can see I've got 5 miles here as well, so plenty of different places there where I can get lots of the information. So altimeter is set, landing lights is on, fuel quantity is checked, and we've got 68 gallons and they're in balance. Mixture is as required at the moment, I'm quite happy where it is. Seat belts, I'm all strapped in, and brake pressure, and test my brakes, and they're looking good, and then I'll do this just before landing. But in the meantime, I'm just going to back off the throttle now to about 18 inches or about 50% power, and that'll start slowing the aeroplane down. Just skirting below the clouds, so that's worked out really well today. And all I'm going to do is just do a VFR join. I'm just going to come in, hopefully get a right base for runway 19. All I can do is I can go into the procedure button, go into approach, go onto here, scroll it down, so I got visual approaches for runway 19, and then here I can go straight. Minimas, what I tend to do is I take the minimas, I go 263 feet, which is the airport elevation, and I add 500 feet to that, so I just go 263. There we go, and then I can load that into the system. Just give me a warning that it's going to be a VFR descent path about 3 degrees. I'm visual with the airport, which is out there. That looks good.
Gotcha, down to physical traffic just on your left hand side now, converging left right 2500 feet.
I'm going to start descending down now. Down towards about 1500 feet. So I've got 1500 feet on the bug there. Just going to do a vertical speed. Go down about 5, 6, 700 feet a minute. Back off the throttle to about 25% power or about 12 inches manifold pressure. There we go. Takeoff Oscar Whiskey descending 1,500 feet.
Takeoff Oscar Whiskey, Roger, taking your own train.
Own terrain, go Oscar. They're just warning us about our own terrain clearance. Okay, so fuel pump is on boost mixture. So I'm going to go mixture fully rich now, because we're just coming in towards the airport. Flaps as required, I'm quite happy at the moment. I'll give them give some flaps down when I start to approach my extended base. Just going to do a slight left turn, just to bring myself more onto the base. I can see the airport out there.
Golf Zulu Lima, traffic left, 11 o'clock, range of 2 miles, manoeuvring in a right turn now, indicating...
Tower frequency set up, I'm ready to go. Just having a good look around as we approach here. Lots of aircraft around. And as we level off, the aircraft is going to start to slow itself down a little bit. We've got 150 knot flat limiting speed, so I'm going to go here, flaps to 50. Autopilot is just pinching and trimming. Golf Oscar Whiskey is 5 miles.
Golf Oscar Whiskey, contact us with Tower 133430.
Over to Tower 133430, Golf Oscar Whiskey, thanks. Oscar Tower, hello, Golf Sierra Whiskey, Oscar Whiskey is just on a 5 mile right base.
Oscar Whiskey, Oscar Whiskey, Oscar Tower, John Allen Port, John right base report, final for runway 19, the circuit clear.
Roger, join our right base, report final 19, Golf Oscar Whiskey. Okay, good, so I'm just coming around, a little bit of a left turn there. That'll then put me sort of really nicely onto a base leg. Into there. If I wanted to, I could go procedure, I could activate vectors to finals, give myself an inbound course there. I can even activate that leg as well if I wanted to.
West of an SR22.
There we go, that'll give me the inbound course with a glide path here as well, but I'm quite happy, I can see the runway.
Gone around with a right turn at P28.
Copy traffic, Golf Oscar Whiskey. So I've got about 14-15% manifold pressure, so 14-15 inches. And there you go, the aircraft is quite happily sat there at 105, which I'm more than happy with one stage of flap. Okay, I'm going to disconnect the autopilot and enjoy the hand flying in. So disconnecting it, I'm going to start coming down now towards 1,000 feet.
Parked outside of handling behind Kilo, requesting it.
Still visual with the runway, still visual with
you have the service inside.
any other aircraft that's around. Should be an aircraft off my right hand side over there, so just having a look around for that. I'll see it on the traffic system. But coming down, that's good. So speed's still good, descending around about sort of 300-400 feet a minute at 12 inches. Looking nice.
Exam 101, start at your discretion. Start at discretion, exam 101.
Okay, so fuel pump is on, mixtures rich, flaps are set, autopilot is off, ice protection, we don't need to do any of those. Flaps at 50, airspeed is a minimum of 95, which is what I have, and then 88 on final. But I'm going to be utilising the green donut for my final approach. So I've got the runway over there on a nice right base at the moment. So right base going to go flaps full, below the speed. I can see the little runway edge indicator lights flashing, giving me a little bit of information where the runway is. Nothing on final. Start turning right now to come onto final approach. Golf Oscar Whiskey, turning final 19.
Golf Oscar Whiskey, runway 19, winds 160 degrees, 16 knots, clear to land.
Runway 19, clear to land, Golf Oscar Whiskey.
Minimums.
There you go, there was my
500.
minimums for my vertical path on my visual approach, but I didn't use it, I just set it up there just as a bit of a reference. So coming around, speed's looking good, got green donut which is my VREF plus about 10 knots, here at the moment, which I'm very comfortable with. Coming onto final approach, got my pappies there, I've got my 2 reds, my 2 whites. Power as required to keep myself roundabout on the green donut with my 2 reds, with my 2 whites. That's looking nice. So the aircraft is all set. Got a bit of a gusty around there, just coming across. So I'm on the green donut now as I come towards the threshold. And as the numbers cross under the nose of the airplane, I'm going to move my eyes to the end of the runway. I'm going to close the throttle smoothly towards idle, pitch the nose as required, hold it there, hold it there, hold it there, and touch down, holding the control column back all the time, and then the nose goes down as well. Lovely. A little bit of power is going to go on here because I need to go all the way to the end of the runway to actually vacate, and I don't want to delay anybody who might be behind me. Lovely. Yes, that's the first flight as Golf.
Oscar Whiskey, VQ, end and left, taxi Mike via Alpha, and then continue with the marshaller.
Roger, vacate left at the end, Mike via Alpha, and then with the marshaller, Golf Oscar Whiskey. Yeah, so good, so glad you could join me on this little flight. First UK registered G7 SR22 G7 Plus, and flew beautifully, really, really nice. It's always an interesting thing flying an aircraft for the first time. Well, we flew it in the States as a different registration, but now it's here, ready to do its work, based out of Oxford. So just coming around here. Don't touch anything on the aircraft as I'm rolling down the runway. Very, very big on not touching anything flaps or anything until I actually come off the runway. I don't mind if I'm still taxiing as I'm doing my clear up. However, I make sure I don't do anything while I'm here. So 1000 RPM on the throttle, fuel pump can go to the off position. I'm going to leave the mixture where it is. Flaps, confirming the flap lever, they're going to go up. Lights, don't need my strobes on anymore, but I'm going to leave my landing light on for taxiing. Probe heat, I don't have a probe heat button, and any ice protection stuff is not switched on. And then the ice lights can go off, didn't have those on, and then I'll do the shutdown in a little bit. Fantastic. So Mike via Alpha, so taxiing around here, going to go all the way around to the maintenance area number 4, which is where hangar 15 is, where the aircraft is going to be based, where it's going to join November 224 Whiskey and November 502 Whiskey Sierra, the 2 other aircraft we have on our fleet. Lovely airport here at Oxford to operate from. A really nice mix of sort of rotary stuff, helicopters. You know, we've got flying schools here with the DA-42s and the DA-40s, and then we get some private jet stuff. In fact, only a couple of private jets here at the moment, so we've got a PC-24 and a Citation there, but often we get lots of bigger private jets in here as well. So following around the apron, all the way around to meet up with the marshaller. So there's the marshallers over there. Good. Well, I'll sign off now as I taxi in. It's been great having you joining me on this flight.